Welcome back to the Fire Emblem Awakening playthrough. Last time, we, cured Anna of NPC-itis. Actually, it's a different Anna, so the other Anna is still doomed. And got her on our side, so after 13 games, we finally have one of the Anna sisters as an actual playable ally. This time, okay, yeah, brace yourselves, people. This is probably gonna be a long episode. This is the big finale of the first part of the game. We are going to be fighting Mad King Gangrel and defeating him once and for all in one final epic battle. And before even that, we have a whole ton of supports to go through. So, seriously, just look at this. Look at this. Look how many supports I have. Look at all these supports. So, yeah, that's a lot of supports. Now, the reason for that is, I actually did one Risen Skirmish to grind a little bit. Reason being, Gregor. I'm actually going to use Gregor in Chapter 11, and because of that, I wanted to get him at least a little bit leveled up. I think I can get rid of that Steel Lance, though. He must have got that off some random enemy. In doing so, though, I actually paired him up with Lon'qu, who, by the way, has achieved S support with Lissa, so we can finally see that. The reason why I paired Gregor up with Lon'qu, though, was because Gregor and Lon'qu's support are very, very interesting, and I wanted to show off at least the C in this playthrough. So, we're going to be covering that one first.
Good grieving.
Yeah, seems like Gregor has this problem a lot. Now, here's where things get really interesting. That's pretty impressive.
No.
And yes, this seemingly generic mercenary was once a candidate to become one of Ragnarok's Khans.
What?
And apparently he's forgotten about it all.
Predictable.
Yeah, typical Myrmidon characters, always challenging other people to duels.
Huh? Right.
Lon'qu, you might want to be careful about that, because, you're about to have a wife, and she would not like it if you got yourself killed.
Nonsense. What?
Lon'qu can't actually have wrath. Ironically, I think Gregor can, but Lon'qu can't. So yes, Gregor's a lot more than he seems, and in fact there are a lot of supports with Gregor that reveal interesting things about him. Particularly Gregor with Tharia. I may actually want to show some of these, because there's a very, very big secret in Gregor's past that comes to light in those conversations. But anyway, speaking of Tharia, it's time for Kellam and Tharia's B. Once more, unintentional ninja.
Satisfied? Pretty much.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, you're one to talk there. Yeah, kind of funny. Tharia calling other people creepy. That's, yeah. But at least she's kind of opening up. And she's asking someone else about their family.
Okay.
Maybe.
What?
Useless.
Wow.
Pretty much.
Considering Tharia's a dark mage, yeah, we really don't want to take the chance of that spell going horribly wrong. And I'm pretty sure it does happen a lot when Tharia is concerned, but see, this is why I like this support line. You get to see rare moments of niceness from Tharia. Speaking of which, I actually would also, another support pair that I would really like to do in this playthrough, if I potentially can, is Tharia and Noe. I read those supports recently, and seriously, Wow! You see a completely unexpected side of Tharia there. But anyway, okay, more conversations. The Vake and the Cordelia are at the A, the support. And Vake lost to a Lance user, that's reassuring. Well, I guess Pegasus Knights do have the relief skill. I mean, Vake can't get that, but anyway.
Listen.
Well, at least he's finally grasping the basics.
Thanks.
It's kind of weird, though, because Vake actually has a pretty decent skill growth, so... If anything, he'd be one of those few axe users who does know the basics of combat. Wow!
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Huh?
No.
Yeah, that's something that I've been wondering throughout this whole support line. I mean, Cordelia is, has something to do with Crom, so it probably shouldn't be in her interest to be helping someone who wants to beat Crom.
Well,
But I guess her logic does make sense here. And that's how Vake's learning here.
yes.
Hey.
Wow, someone's saying someone else is as good as Mary Sue. Ironically, like I mentioned earlier, Cordelia is actually a deconstruction of Mary Sue tropes, but anyway.
Hey. Yeah.
It's you and me.
Enter the Vake.
So, they're pretty close. Pretty close. Few more battles maybe, one or two, and, yeah, I'll be able to pair them. I really like those supports because both of them have this shared obsession of training. Now, I'm going to skip Crom for a moment, and skip these two for a moment, because Donald and Noe have their B support.
So hey.
Okay, I should just mention, this conversation is kind of where I start really liking this pairing.
Huh?
Whoa.
Well, this time she's not throwing it.
Yeah.
Huh?
As we knew from, back in Donnie's side quest, his father was killed by Mr. Generic Bandit Boss Leader II. This thing with rocks, I think there was something similar in Brom's support conversations in Path of Radiance. What is it with farmer characters and rocks? But, yes. Apparently that stone has great power, and Donnie doesn't understand it just yet, but he will one day.
Aww.
Huh?
That is a fair point. But yeah, whoever Noe's father is, he's kind of gone.
Listen.
Huh.
So, we might get some interesting information about Dragon...
Nope.
Never mind.
Huh?
Interesting.
Yeah.
So she remembers it, but she doesn't fully remember it.
Yes.
Here we go.
Oh, I really love that line. Yeah, I like these two together. So, with that, apparently, Donnie's father gave him a Mega Stone or something. It's definitely not a Dragon Stone, because if it was, Noe would have recognized it immediately. Honestly, though, I personally think it's a Bug's Life situation where it's just an ordinary rock, but it's a metaphor. But who knows, it could be something incredibly powerful. Speaking of incredibly powerful, Donnie's almost at a D rank in swords. When he is, he'll be able to use this weapon, which is utterly amazing in his hands, because this gives him a luck % chance of getting a gold bar every time he kills an enemy, which for Donnie is very, very, very high. Yeah, this weapon on him is just amazing, and plus, with arm thrift, it almost never breaks, so pretty much an infinite source of money. Gaius would love that. Speaking of Gaius, should I do... Because he and Pan do have their S support. Should I do that, or should I do Lissa and Lon'qu? You know what? Okay, Lissa and Lon'qu have been with us longer, however, Lissa is closer to Crom, and... you know what? I am actually going to do Gaius and Pan's S first. Or not, because these ones joined earlier. I can't decide. Okay. But I mean, I am, spoilers, going to do Crom's S support right after. So, we have 3 S supports to do here. And I guess it makes sense for Lissa's to happen just before Crom, so I'm going to do Pan and Gaius.
Right.
And getting straight to the point here.
Oh.
But it looks like Gaius has finally learned stuff about Tarkwell culture. See? Character development.
Oh, yeah?
Well, I mean... Gaius is kind of the opposite of a jeweler in a way that, well... he procures jewels, but not in the legal way.
You.
Seriously, I want to learn about that too, but the conversation's gonna cut off there.
Congrats.
Now, this was funny, when I read this line on its own, because I read this support in advance, I was feeling a bit weird about doing this pairing, and then looking here I notice her expression though, you can tell she's actually joking. Often context means everything when it comes to game dialogue. Sometimes you need the character's facial expressions there to figure out what a line really means. I had an issue with that when I was translating Ace Attorney Investigations too, but now's not exactly the time for those anecdotes.
Well.
Not really.
Easy there.
No, Gaius isn't entirely about candy trees, just mostly about candy trees. This is interesting because in some of Pan's other S supports, she says she doesn't understand the human concept of marriage. So it's a little inconsistent whether or not some details about her character here. I mostly know in Pan and the Avatar's S support, she seems to not understand the concept of the ring. So of course he had to work another sweet Pan in there, but that is very high praise from him.
Baby, you're a river of chocolate and an ocean of cream. I'm gonna steal your heart on a daily basis.
To think that I might love a human. What a strange world this is.
Okay, I will say Gaius's English confession is very weird, although I'm pretty sure the Japanese one's kind of weird too, but I do kind of prefer Pan's Japanese confession to her English one. I still like her English one, but the Japanese one emphasized how she won't be alone anymore, which I liked better than the English one emphasizing the whole otherness aspect of her being together with a human, but anyway, that is another S support, which means another, well, totally broken thing to unleash upon the enemy and create massive destruction and terror with bunny rabbits, which is amazing. But we're about to unleash more massive destruction and terror with another S support.
Ta-da!
Yeah, get used to hearing this music because we're going to be hearing it a lot this episode.
Right.
And hey, Lon'qu's not recoiling in horror anymore.
Hey.
Yeah, that kind of would be. I'm getting vibes of Tharia's B support with the Avatar, which, while I don't like that pairing very much at all, I think that support is pretty hilarious. Basically, Tharia tries to pass herself off as normal, and, well, it has to be seen to be believed. I pair you up and battle together all the time.
What?
And there it goes.
No.
Huh?
Right. Women.
If I get time, I'll show some of Lon'qu's other supports that explain why he's so uncomfortable about women. When you find out, it's pretty understandable. He had a very traumatic experience in the past. I'll just briefly go over, basically, something happened involving a girl that he was friends with when they were children. She kinda got herself killed protecting him, and that caused him to have a complex of thinking that anyone he gets close to would end up dying. Again, if I have time, I'll show those supports. I believe it's actually the character with, the character where it's made explicit hasn't joined yet, so I can't even mention that because spoilers.
Right.
I confess, I do have feelings for... Gods, must all these emotions be so vexing?
Oh my gosh, this ring is huge! Ah, we're gonna have such a great life together!
It's not like me to say, but that support is just so heartwarming. I really, really like that pairing. I know that, okay, admittedly, yeah, it's pretty much based off of just one line during the end of Chapter 4, but I still really like the pairing of Lissa and Lon'qu, but I will say, I also like Lissa and Frederick, Lissa and Vake, and even Lissa and Male Avatar as well. I mean... it's actually kind of an interesting idea having the Avatar become Crom's brother-in-law, but, even that, I mean, Male Avatar and Liss is still pretty good. I think it's actually one of the most popular pairings for me. I'm rambling here, but I'll just say that Liss is one of the characters who I actually support quite a lot of pairings with. Oh, Lissa and Donnie as well. I actually like that one too, so... I'm only saying this because while Lissa and Lon'qu is definitely my favorite pairing for both of them, I've heard that there are instances of some fans being bullied for not liking the pairing, and I'm sorry, I support this pairing, but even I think that's just disgusting. And, yeah, and that's why I'm saying, I mean, seriously, I mean, saying this pairing is canon, based off of just one line of dialogue in the main story, that's pretty tenuous. But, anyway, we've gone through all of those supports. And now comes the moment that I've been dreading. Going shopping! Yes, I'm doing anything to, stall for time. The reason why I'm going to go shopping is because I want to show off Anna's shopping quotes because they're hilarious. And cruel. Where are you, Anna? Here we go. Ouch! Yeah! If you're selling... Oh, burn! And forging... Yeah, seems like sibling rivalry runs strong among Annas, so... I had to show those quotes off because they're pretty hilarious. Anyone else have any bullions that I can sell? You do. Okay, who else does? I hope I don't accidentally sell something important. Convoy, okay. Any more bullions in here? No, there aren't. While I'm here, though... You know what? I got surplus gold. I may as well buy this extra Master Seal. Again, they're being handed out like candy at this point in the game, but I... Discount steel bow, but Virion's our only archer at this point, and he has more than enough bows. These tonics, I never really found them all that useful. I mean, they're really cheap, but... You know what? I may as well buy myself a men's staff. I might actually need another one. Because this Anna's going to disappear after I leave the shop. So, any more merchants on the world map? Any more? Let me just check the bottom screen. No merchants or risen skirmishers. Yeah, I've been away from this game for too long. And now I'm going to do some inventory management because I'm still wanting to avoid the inevitable. Okay, let's see. You are running low on staves. Kind of. I think you can get through one more chapter, but after that, I am going to restock your inventory. You'll have Katarina's Bolt for the time being. You're fine. You're fine. Mary Sue is mostly... She destroys everything anyway. Pan, yeah, get rid of that Arm Scroll, get rid of that Worm Slayer, and, of course, I can't believe I haven't done this for so long. Get the second Beast Stone, the one that Mustafar dropped. I can't believe I was a complete derp and forgot to give that to her immediately. That could have ended very, very badly. And I have another Men's Staff. You know what? Let's give Gaius a Worm Slayer. I mean, Lon'qu's already got one. And... okay, you're fine. Muriel, Convoy that Talisman. And your magic is actually looking kind of... Donnie's fine. He's stuck with the Bronze Sword for a while. Noe is not that fine, but she'll be getting another Dragonstone soon. Spoilers. Okay, only one more. Just how many stars do we have? Might as well take another Men's Staff. I mean, we got a lot of them. And... that else is... Also, actually, Anna. Can Anna use a Men's Staff? Yes, she can. Okay, rescue. Not really sure we need that. You're fully stocked. You two seem to be fully stocked. And there's no more stalling I can do. I'm gonna have to do this. Firstly, warning, 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 warning. To anyone playing along or anyone who is using this as a guide to this game, extreme warning. There's something that you need to know before you enter Chapter 11. It's incredibly important, so make sure you listen to what I'm about to say. Remember how I said a long time ago to be very careful who you supported Crom with? Because Crom is the one character in this game who is forced to marry someone. For everyone else, marriage is completely optional. Of course, you have to be a total idiot not to do it, but it's still optional. For Crom, though, the plot demands that he get married. And because of this, there's a cutoff point for his marriage. And that cutoff point is now, Chapter 11. If you enter this chapter and Crom does not have an S support, then at the end of the chapter, Crom will automatically marry the love interest he has the highest support with. And if you're not careful, that might be someone who you don't want. Now, players with male avatars should be especially careful here. If you plan to marry your male avatar to Sumia, Maribel, or Sully, you might want to get them to an S support now, because I've actually heard of instances of Crom stealing people's waifus. Yeah, really. If you do this wrong, and your avatar doesn't have high enough support with them, and Crom's support with them is very high, Crom might just automatically marry them before your avatar has a chance, and well, yeah, Crom steals your waifu, so careful about that. Also careful is that, make sure... Okay, if Crom actually does have an S support by this point, before entering Chapter 11, you're fine. You're completely safe. You don't need to worry about Crom marrying the wrong girl. Speaking of which, there is actually one more marriage option for Crom who we haven't met. Well, we have met them, but they haven't joined yet. If you want Crom to marry this person, Crom must not have even a C support with any of his other love interests. So if you want Crom to marry this other person, see this question mark on Crom's supports list? If you want Crom to marry her, and Crom has a C with Sumia, Maribel, Sully, or a female avatar, you must immediately marry that female off to someone else. Otherwise, Crom will never be able to marry this mystery bride. So, that's basically everything that I want to say here. Also note there is a priority if they're in the case of equal supports. Mostly this regards to Sumia. Sumia is by far the most likely to automatically marry Crom, so if you don't want to do that pairing, bear that in mind. But, I mean, I really do want to do this pairing, but unfortunately I can't because I'm gonna get Crom an S support now. And here it comes. I'm so sorry about this, Crom. I feel so bad for you. I don't want to put you through this, but it hurts.
Hey.
So like I mentioned before, S support with the avatar play the avatar's theme, and not the normal S support theme. This applies regardless of the avatar's gender. Oh no, Mary Sue, I know the kind of things you want to talk about with Crom. They're the kind of things that you really don't want to be shown in the game, or it'll bump the rating up even further. Yes, you were thinking of that map, and you were thinking of diverting both you and him to some special area where you can both be alone, while Sumia gets shot repeatedly by ballistas.
Crom?
Well, people tend to act strange and out of character around Mary Sue's. It's kind of a thing that happens.
Huh?
Seriously, mentioning the fact that you're considered close friends within an S support, that, I don't really like that at all. No, you haven't. You've been paired up constantly in battle. Oh no, Mary Sue's hypnotic gaze is working. Crom's mind is slowly being altered to the point where he must act out of character. No, it is physically impossible to dislike a Mary Sue, unless you are a villain, in which case you're going to die horribly.
Crom?
Right.
And it stopped there. It stopped there. It stopped there. It didn't go any further. Don't say any more. Don't say anything. Please don't say any more. He said it. He said it. We're all doomed. It's official. We're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. That's it. We're doomed. We're doomed. We're doomed. We're completely doomed. I quit. That's it. I can't do this anymore. I'm sorry, but I think you've already said something you'll regret already. Perhaps that would make things better for all of us.
Huh?
Listen to me.
And thus, Crom went Super Saiyan. I mean, Crom went to the next level of Super Saiyan. Please stop skirting around the issue.
Listen.
Oh no, there we go. It's Zenobia, I love you, will have sex with me all over again.
Crom?
And this is, okay, this is why I don't like the support. This doesn't make sense in the context of their earlier conversations. It really does not make sense in the context of their C, B, and A. Like, I mean, if you were in love with her from when you first saw her, then you certainly would have had different reactions to a lot of things that happened in CB and A. And one of the more risque lines in this game, yes, rated, I don't like saying rated T for teen, because that's not my rating system. Unfortunately, Mary Sue is going to answer in the way that I really, really don't want her to. To quote the original Mary Sue fanfic, "Captain, I am not that kind of girl."
Right.
All right.
Yeah, in a lot more chapters, thankfully. So thankfully, they're not going to get together until then. And there's still a chance that maybe somebody will be able to use the Alm Staff on Sumia before then.
Yeah.
Well, of course.
Really?
Oh no, here it comes. Brace yourselves, people!
You are the wind at my back and the sword at my side. Together, my love, we shall build a peaceful world. Just you and me.
Oh, gods, no.
Huh? Did you hear something? Nah, must be just my imagination. So, anyway, that happened. I'm sorry if I come off as overly... I know that there are a lot of reasons to like this pairing based on the story, but to me, the supports are not one of them. That S support is not that bad compared to the CB and A, but that's the thing. To me, it does not fit the context of the CB and A at all. It's like... C support. Crom makes a misunderstanding, Mary Sue gets angry and throws things at them. B support. Walking in on each other naked. A support. Walking in on each other naked again. S support. Suddenly I harbor an all-consuming love for you, please marry me. It just kind of feels like the romance sort of... I can't see the logical progression. Like in Lissa and Lon'qu's supports, and Gaius and Pan's supports even, I could see the logical progression from the C, B, and A into the romance in S. I don't see that with Crom and the female avatar. I really don't, and that's why I'm not really a big fan of the pairing. That and Crom does not act that awkward like most of the time. That's really quite... and they stall a lot before they finally get to the point there. I'm really sorry. I mean, that's the last time I'm going to be negative about this pairing. Last time, I promise.